Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the lecture. So, in this lecture, we'll try to see how the shuttering quantity has to be found out for the uh, beams. Okay. So, up to here, you have understood, right? So, we'll try to find the shuttering quantity. Concrete quantity, I already explained you. For the shuttering, I'm going to explain it now. So, first, let me show you how that shuttering is going to look. Since we are doing it for the plinth beam, in the plinth beam, your shuttering will be on the two sides. That is, you see here, let us say if this is my beam, okay, one is on this side, this shuttering I need to find, and on this side. So that means for one particular beam, two shuttering will come, right? So one shuttering is here and the other one is there. So bottom you don't have any shuttering here because it is directly laid on the ground, isn't it? So you don't have to put the bottom shuttering. But when we go for the first floor, the second floor and all, there we need the bottom also. That I'll take care of that when we go to the first floor part. This much is clear. Now how do you find the area of this? It's pretty simple. What you're supposed to do, see, I'll explain it here. I'll explain you in this way. Okay. Yeah, I'll explain you for this particular beam. Okay. So it's very simple. I need the length of this beam. And if I multiply by the depth of this beam, I'll get the shuttering quantity. But only on one side I've got it, right? In the same way, for this particular beam, I have another shuttering put up here. And then there's a depth of that. So if I multiply that, and I'll get the total shuttering quantity. I have two options. Either you calculate for one, this length, you multiply this by depth. In the same way, you calculate this length and you multiply this by depth and add both the thing. This is one way of doing. The other way of doing is very simple. Calculate for one part, that is the length multiply by the depth of the beam. Whatever answer you get, you multiply that by 2 so that you get this side also, right? You're getting my point. So this is how the shuttering quantity has to be understood, right? So for that, again, I'll go back to the drawing. See here, again, everything is mentioned, right? That is FB1, that is floor beam 1, okay? Not sorry, not FB1. From ground I need to start. Yeah, this is ground or plinth beam layout, right? See, this is now I need to find this particular shuttering area. Okay, so this is how I'm going to find. This much I'm going to find because we know that already this much portion and this much portion is taken in the uh, this thing GB33 and GB43. So now what I'll do, I'll take the complete thing, that is this complete length. Okay, so before going to this, I'll go with FB, this thing, that is, yeah, I'll go. This is a bit complicated. I'll come back to this later. GB1. I'll take you the simple beam, how it has to be done. Yeah, I'll go with this. See GB6. How you are going to find the GB6 shuttering quantity is very simple. Just first you have to find the dimensions of this. Okay, take the dimension. See, always remember it is from column outer to column outer, or let us say column inner to column inner. Okay, from here to here length I'm going to find. So it is 3400. The length I know. For GB6, the depth is already mentioned in the drawing. Okay. So if I come to GB6, my GB6 is somewhere here. Yeah. What is the depth of your GB6? I don't require breadth here. I require the depth. It is 350. So length I have 3.4 meter. So length is 3.4 meter. Depth is 0.35. If I multiply the both the thing, I'll get the answer. I'll multiply this by 2 because this side also I need to put and here also I need to put, right? So same thing I'll explain you here. We'll go to GB6. So this is that particular portion. Okay. Let me give a different color to that. Yeah. Fine. So this is my GB6. What was the length? Length I've written 3.4 meter. And this width and depth, you write it. Okay. The width of your beam of GB6, it is 200 by 350. So it is 0.2 and depth is 0.35. Now coming to the quantity, what I've done, see what I've done, E69. E69 means 3.4 multiplied by 0.35. And whatever answer I get, I'll multiply it by 2. So I mention it as into 0 into 2. If you don't understand, I'll do it in front of you. Equal to sign, bracket open. What is the length? Length is 3.4. I'll multiply this by the depth of the beam. So it is 0.35. I'll close the bracket and I'll say multiply by 2 because both the side I require. That's it. Done. How much is the answer? 2.380 square meter is the answer. Okay, so this mistake I've done. It should be square meter. Yeah, square meter. Okay, done. So this I'll drag it. So be careful whenever you're finding the shuttering quantity. Okay, it should be in square meter, not in cubic meter. Okay, good. Yeah, this is done. This is not required. Okay, this is understood. GB6 is understood. Now I'll go with other part. Now this was very simple. Sometimes it won't be as simple as this. For that reason, I'll go with your this one, GB1. Now you tell me how we are going to find the shuttering quantity for this, because you cannot apply the same formula now. Why? The reason is that when you do the shuttering, of course, this is a complete length. I agree with that. Okay. But when you do the shuttering, this complete length you are going to take. That is okay. This length I got, I'll multiply this by the depth. I'll get this part shuttering. If I multiply this by 2, it will not work out. What is the reason behind that? The reason is that here when you do the shuttering, no, this portion, your shuttering is only from this end to this end. But whereas this part, your shuttering is from here to here. You're getting my point? That means this portion and this portion will not come into play when I go for this part of shuttering. In that case, you need to take shuttering 2 times. That means what I'll do for our easiness, I'll take it out. I'll go for the dimension option. Okay, this is my dimension. I'll take this length also from here to here. What is the length? It is 4.55, and I'll take this length also, right? Outside also. You're getting my point? So it is 4.955. So come here. I'll go with GB1. Right now I'm taking care of this part. Okay, just concentrate here. Okay, if you understand this, rest very simple. Okay, so the length I've written 4.995. Now you may ask me, why did you write 4.955? Why didn't you write 4.555? See, always remember, when we do the concreting, in that concreting will be done from this area, from here to here. Okay, that already I've explained you. Concreting will be done from this part to this part, whereas this part I'll do it for GB33. I'll take only this much part, and my GB43 will be only this much part. You're getting my point? Okay, so that means, so that is why I've taken 4.955 complete length I've taken, because concreting will be done for the complete thing. Okay, got my point? So that is why I've written 4.995. Okay, then what is the width? Width by default it is 200 mm for all the beams, and depth is 0.35. Fine. Now come to the quantity part. Quantity, I'll explain you how it has to be done. So first plus equal to sign. What is the length? 4.995 multiply by the depth. What is the depth? 0.35. Close the bracket. Now, can I do this multiply by 2? No, it will not work out. You'll get wrong answer. Why? Because the inside part here, your shuttering is only from this to this portion. So what you need to do, this length is mentioned 4.555. So what you do, you say plus there and open the bracket again. Now this time you write 4.555. Getting my point? And this you multiply by 0.35 and close the bracket and hit the enter button. You'll get 3.343. This is one way of doing. You're getting my point? In this way you can do that. Got it? Yeah. Similarly, we'll go with some other examples. I hope this concept is clear. Yeah, now you come here. Now this is another case. So look at this particular case. That is GB2. So your GB2 is this complete beam, isn't it? Fine. How we are going to find the shuttering quantity is pretty simple. This length I know. This length you know. From this outer to this outer. Yeah, 4750. So very simple now. What I'll do, length I know. I know the depth. If I multiply this, I'll get the shuttering quantity. Very good. If I multiply it by 2, will I get the total shuttering quantity? I'll get total shuttering quantity, but there is one problem. Why? Because when you do the shuttering in this part, you have a one beam which is called a secondary beam which is passing. Your shuttering will stop only in this portion. To put it in a better way, I'll show it here. When you do the shuttering here, when you do this shuttering will be only this portion. Okay, and then this portion. That middle portion you don't have to consider because there won't be any shuttering. To put it in a better way, let me show you. Yeah, to put it in a better way, I'll show you with the practical image. Okay, just concentrate here. Yeah, so just concentrate here. So this is somewhat, yeah, this case. You see here, this particular case it is. So if I want to find the shuttering of this beam, it's very simple. This length, outer length to this outer length I'll take. I'll multiply this by the depth. I'll get the shuttering of this side. But whereas on this side, you see here, this length is not completely going, isn't it? This side, it is not completely going. Why? Because the length is only from, your shuttering is only from here to here, and again from here to here. That means in the middle portion here, can you see, is there any shuttering being done? No, it is an open area, so that your secondary beam will connect here. So when you find this particular length, you take the overall length, and in that length, whatever is the width of your beam, whatever is the width of this particular beam, you need to deduct, and then you find the shuttering quantity. Getting my point? So I hope this is understood. So I'll show you through this AutoCAD drawing itself now. So first, this overall length I know 4750. So I'll go to this GB2. By default, it is 4750. Width is written, depth is written. Here I'll do the calculations. So calculation plus open bracket. What is the length? 4.750. You multiply this by the depth. So depth is 0.35. Finish. One side I have done. Plus open the bracket again. Now this length you don't know. This length you need to find. How you are going to find? You have many options to find. This length I want to find from here to here. This length I'll find. Okay, 3450. And this length also I'll find. And then I can add both of them. Both you add 3450 plus 1100 will give me 4550, isn't it? 4550. This is one way of doing. The other way of doing is whatever is the total length 4750, in that you deduct the width of this beam. What is the width of the beam? You just keep here all your beam are 200 mm width. All your beams are 200 mm width. So 4750 minus 200 if I do, I'll get the total length. Again, it is 4570 minus 200 will give me 4550. You're getting my point. Now you have two options. Either you come here, you write directly 4.550 and you multiply this by the depth. What is depth? Again, depth remains the same, 0.35, and close the bracket. Hit the enter button. 3.255 is the right answer. I'll do it manually in front of you. I have a calculator. I'll write it here. If you don't understand, I'll do it manually. Okay. Only for this I'll do manually. Rest you do it on your own. So first we'll complete, for the complete length was 4.75. I'll multiply by the depth of my beam, 0.35. Okay. What is the answer you're getting? Do it manually. 4.75 into 0.35. So it is 1.6625. It is square meter. Done. Now the inside portion I'll go. It is 4.75 minus 0.2 because the width of the beam I'm deducting. It is 4.550. So now 4.550 multiply by the depth. Okay. Depth will be same whether you do it outside the inside. Okay. It is same. So how much it is? 4.550 into 0.35. So this is 1.59. Now you add both things. That is 1.6625 plus 1.59. Let me know what is the answer you're getting. 1.6625. I'm getting 3.255. I'm getting 3.255. And how much did I get in the Excel sheet? In the Excel sheet also I got 3.255. You're getting my point? Yeah. If you don't want to do this, you have one more option. Instead of doing this, instead of directly writing here 4.55, you can just use your brain. Okay. What you do? What is the overall length? Overall length is 4.750. Okay. You have to take 2 times the bracket. Okay. What I'm telling is 2 times you do the open bracket. What is that length? It was 4.750 minus what was the width of your beam? 0.2. Here width is 0.2. This only you click here and you close the bracket. Okay, that length I got. By default, Excel sheet will calculate this. 4.750 minus 0.2 will give me 4.55, what we were writing manually. Now you multiply this by the depth. What is the depth? Depth is 0.35. Now you close the bracket. Okay. Okay, you have to close it 2 times. Yeah, you'll get the same answer. See 3.25 I'm getting. Getting my point? So in this way, you're supposed to do this calculation. So I explained you for the 2 beams. Okay, GB1, GB2 I explained. Now you tell me about the GB3. GB3 is very simple. Why? GB3 is very simple. Why? Because here also complete length. Here also complete length. So what will be the answer? Very simple. Whatever is the length, you multiply the length by the depth. And this you multiply by 2 times because you'll get shuttering on this side also. You'll get the shuttering on this side also. This problem comes only in the secondary beam. For example, suppose if I go for this particular beam. Again, you see here? Yeah. Come for GB9. Come for GB9. You explain me how the GB9 has to be done. Again, your shuttering will be in this portion. This will be a shuttering portion. Very good. Okay. Now how we are going to find the shuttering quantity? This length I know. From here to here, this length I'll find now. See? From here to here, the length I have found. It is 3.4 meter. Okay. 3.4 meter multiply by the depth. Again, depth is for GB9. The depth is 0.35 because all the beams depth is 0.35 here. So 3.4 into 0.35. Got it. Now, when you come on this side, you're shuttering, you have one secondary beam passing here. You have another secondary beam passing here. How we are going to do? You have to deduct the width of your beam, of this beam and this beam from the overall length. Okay. That means the width everywhere it is 0.2. Otherwise, you can check it here. I'll check. See, this is also 200. This is also 200. Okay, fine. Now 3.4 minus 0.2 minus 0.2 will give me the overall length from here to here. Okay, very simple. So, and then you multiply this answer by the depth, you'll get the shuttering quantity on this side also. Getting my point? Yeah. So this is something similar to this particular case. Okay, like here we don't have an exact case, but I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to tell. Okay, yeah. So this is something like this. We don't have such beams here, but it's okay. Two times you need to deduct. Let us say there was one beam here and there was one more beam passing in this way. So in that case, that would be the case. So this complete length I got. Okay, let us say there was one more beam. If you're not able to understand for someone, let us say there was one more beam passing in this direction. Okay, then what you would have done, this entire length for one side multiply by the depth, you'll get this side shuttering. But whereas here you cannot take the complete length, this length minus this width I need to take, again this length minus this width and this length. So that means overall length minus, this is one beam breadth to deduct, another beam breadth to deduct from the overall length. You will get the length on the other side. You multiply that by the depth, you'll get the answer. Okay, yeah. So that was GB9, I guess. Yeah, it was GB9. So for GB9, I'll show you how it has been. See, I've done everything. Okay, I'll show you what is the final answer I have got. You try to do it on your own. So this is GB9. Okay, this is GB9. I'll give a different color. Okay, see now. So 3.4 was the overall length, width was 0.2, depth was 0.35. So what I've done, I'll do it here. Anyhow, I got an answer here. I'll do it here for you. First, what we'll do, equal to sign, okay, or plus. First, what you do, exactly 3.4, you multiply by the depth. So depth is 0.35 and close the bracket, done. Plus, open the bracket. Either you go to the AutoCAD and you can directly take a dimension and add it. Otherwise, you just use your brain. You need to deduct the width of your beam 2 times from the overall length. Okay, so I open the bracket here. I'll take this overall length, that is 3.4 minus, you have to do 2 times. Okay, see, this open bracket will be 2 times. Okay, minus, what is the width? 0.2 minus, again 0.2. Now you close the bracket. So you got that width, you got that length. Now you multiply that length particular by the depth. So multiply this by depth. Depth is how much? 0.35. And now you close the bracket and hit the enter button. You should get the answer. Okay, so I'm getting 2.24 and here I'm getting, okay, here I'm getting 2.310. So that means small mistake I've done. Okay, no problem, we'll verify what is a mistake, because you're supposed to do the mistakes, only then you'll get to know. Yeah, so you just tell me what mistake we have done. This 2.310 answer is wrong. The reason is that this is 72, this is E, and this is 72. 3.4 minus 0.2. Only one time I have done minus 0.2, because in GB9, if you observe carefully, this is GB9, this beam depth and this beam depth 2 times, and this beam width I need to deduct. No, so here what was a mistake? I need to again say minus this part. Now you should get the right answer. Okay, and now you'll get the right answer. See, yeah, 2.240 and I got also 2.24. Got it? So in this way, I've done the calculation for all the beams. Okay, so finally I'll show you what answer I have got it here. Okay, so you did it for, see, again one more thing, remember the shuttering quantity. This is your quantity. Okay, so what will be your total quantity? Quantity you multiply by number of member, you'll get the total quantity and drag it in this way. You're getting my point? Okay, yeah. So finally I'll show you what answer you're supposed to get. Yeah, so I'll go for auto sum. Enter. Yeah, you're supposed to get 105. Yeah, you're supposed to get, yeah, you're supposed to get 105.608 square meter of a shuttering in the plinth area. Now your answer may vary. Okay, some, if you make a mistake, or even see, 95% of the case, whatever calculation I've done, it is correct. Maybe sometimes even I also make mistake like I did now, but not an issue. See, you should get the answer somewhere close to this. If you get exactly 105.608, doesn't matter. Even if you get your answer in the range of 102 to 108, okay, it is a right answer. Don't tell that my answer is wrong, because somewhere either I might have done a mistake or you might have done a mistake. But if it is in the range of 102, if it is in the range of this only, it's okay, you can continue with that, you don't have to tell me. But if there is a lot of changes in the answer, instead of getting 102, if you got answer somewhere close to, let us say, 95, then either you might have done mistake or I might have done mistake. So you just message me on this number. You either drop me Akshay Kamath 73@gmail.com. If there is mistake, I'll rectify it. Or you can send your Excel sheets to me. I'll check it out. Okay. And this is my WhatsApp number. So +91 9953 779047. Okay. Even you can send it on this number also. I'll verify your answers. Okay. But only if there is too much deviation, you send me. But if you're getting somewhere close to 102, 103, or even if you're getting 106, 107, it's okay. Maybe either you might have made mistake or my mistake might have happened here, maybe in the calculation. But the procedure what I explained, you apply that and you'll get the right answer. Okay, that's how it is. So I think most of the things I covered here, because I won't explain you each and every beam. All the complicated beams I've explained you. Single beam I've explained you. I've explained you this kind of beam. I've explained you the beam where two beams are cross merging. Okay, other than that, rest I hope, see, again, all these things you can do. GB13 is very simple because there's no secondary beam passing. So directly whatever is a length, you see, I'll tell you the cases. If no secondary beams are passing, and if you have a beam in this way, very simple formula, whatever is a length, you multiply this by the depth of your beam, you multiply it by 2, you'll get the shuttering quantity for GB13. This is case number 1. So case number 2 will be something like this. So this will be your case number 2, I'll tell you. Yeah, almost all beams you can find it out. There's no difficulty in that. Okay, in very few places the secondary beams are passing. Yeah, I think rest all beams, it's very simple. Okay, you can find it, no problem in that, because if I can see. Yeah, now this will be one more case. You can see the GB29 beam. How we are going to do the shuttering quantity for this, because you have a secondary beam passing here. So this length you take completely. So this length is from here to here. It is 5200 for GB29. Let me check what I've written. GB29. Yeah, 5200 I've taken. Okay, good. So 5200, you multiply this by the depth. The depth is 0.35 plus this length you need to find now. Already you know it's 5200. In that, whatever is the width of this beam, it is 200 mm again. Okay, the width of this beam is 200. Okay, so this width, if I take, yeah, this you can see it is 200. Okay, so what you do, from 5500, you deduct this 200, so it comes out to be 5 meter. So 5 meter is the length of this. You multiply this by the depth. Again, it is 0.35. I'll do it for one of manually. I'll do it. So 5.2 into 0.35. Okay, I'll close the bracket. You try to do it, and I'll show you the same answers in the Excel sheet. Open the bracket. If you're doing on Excel, 2 times you open the bracket. 5.2 minus 0.2 you do. Close the bracket. You multiply this by 0.35 and close the bracket. Try to do it manually. 5.2 into 0.35, close the bracket, plus 2 times open the bracket. 5.2 minus 0.2, because only one beam is intersecting. If I had two beam, then I need to take minus 0.2 minus 0.2. Okay, yeah, close the bracket, open 0.35 and close the bracket. So I'm getting answer of 3.57. Okay, and let me see in the Excel sheet what answer I have got. So 3.57, what was that beam? It was GB29. So GB29, yeah, correct. See, GB29, how much I got answer? 3.57, and manual also I got 3.57. Got it? So this is a formula what I applied over there. Try to follow the same thing. If you still have doubt, you can always WhatsApp me on this number. I'll be there to explain out. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, yeah, I think it's very simple here, because ground beam, plinth beam shuttering is easy. because only you have two sides. When you come to the first floor, you'll be having a bottom. I'll explain that in the upcoming lectures. Yeah. Now, one more logic. Yeah, come here. See, when you have such kind of beams, then how do you take care of that? So in this beam, what has happened? Because when you do the shuttering, see, when you do the concreting, your concreting will be complete from here to here. I agree with that. But when it comes to the shuttering will be how? Your shuttering will be one will be this part. Here you will do the shuttering. This will be a outer shuttering. Okay, this part. And for this, you'll do only this much shuttering. This much shuttering you'll do. Okay. So how we are going to do? It's very simple. This length this length you take from the AutoCAD. Which length? Outer to outer. From this outer to this outer. Okay. How much is that? It is 5,300. Okay, now what you do? 5,300 into depth of the beam, that is 0.35. Done. Now come to the inner part. Again, you take this length now. From this length to this one. This one. How much it is? So it should be 4 point. It is 4,900. So this inner is 4,900 plus 4,900 into 0.35. You'll get the answer. Otherwise, if you're someone who can do the calculation mentally, it's very simple, because from this, if this is my outer beam, see here, if this is the overall beam, so in this I need to deduct this width of the beam, and also I need to deduct this width of the beam. So width of the beam is 200, which is 400. So out of 5,300, if I deduct 400, how much is remaining? 4,900. And what is the answer I got? 4,900. You can do that way also, or directly from the AutoCAD you take these dimensions and you do that. Okay, so it is for GB47, and for the GB47 I've done the same calculation. See here, 4.9. I'll show it here. See, I've taken this as 5.3. Why 5.3? Because this outer to outer is 5.3 for me, right? So that is why I directly have written 5.3 here. You can see 5.3 is written. So this means 4.9 into 0.35 plus 5.3 into 0.35 I've done. You can do in this way also. The other way is, I told 4.9. Yeah, sorry, overall length is 5.3 minus 0.2 minus 0.2 also you can do. Okay, now why I took 4.9 only here? Why not 5.3? Why did I take 4.9? The reason is that when I calculated the concrete quantity, I took the concrete quantity from here to here. This was my concrete quantity. Okay, my concrete quantity I took like this. So that is why I've taken 4.9 there. Okay, so it depends on you. If you want to take concrete quantity like this also, you can take complete concrete quantity you can take, and remaining this part GB17, and in GB22 it will come. It all depends on you how you want to take it. Or if you find it so difficult, you can consider this as a single beam, that is GB17, GB47 and GB22. You consider that as a single beam. You write it here in the Excel sheet, like I'll do it for you. Okay, so we can do that also if you want. See, I'll explain you. If you find it so difficult to understand all these things, you can directly consider GB22, GB47 and GB17 as one single beam, and you take all the length at once. This length, this length and this length you can take. The perimeter you take. This is 495 and this is 5,300, and then you take this length from here to here. How much it is? 1145. Okay, 1145. Add everything. If let me do that. See, you can do the way you want. Okay, 1.145. Okay, 1.145 plus 5.3. Only the thing is, you should understand what you're doing. That's it. In quantity estimation, you should understand what you're trying to do. Rest things is very simple. This is 495 plus 0.495. Okay, so just calculate everything. 1.145 plus 5.3 plus 0.495. So it is 6.94. 6.94 is a running meter. That is perimeter I got. So if I want to find the area of that 6.94, I'll multiply this by 0.35, because out everywhere it is 0.35 only. Okay, depth of your beam. So I'm getting 2.42 square meter. Okay, now come to the inside part. So inside, how you'll do? Again, inside I'll show you. So this is my inside part now. This you find the length from here to here. It is 295. 295. Okay, and this inside length is 4,900. I know. Okay, this inside is 4,900. And how much is this one? From here to here, it is 945. Okay, this is 945, and this is 295, and this is 4900. Okay, now try to do that also. I'll do it. Okay, so it is 0.945 starting from bottom. Okay, plus this is 4.9. Okay, and that is 0.295, right? 0.295, yeah. So 0.945 plus 4.9 plus 0.295, 6.14. This is a running meter. Okay, so 6.14 multiplied by 0.35. You multiply this by 0.35, you get 2.149. So add both the thing, first one and second one. First one I got 2.42. Okay, it's here, this one. Okay, and plus the inside part 2.149 I got. So just add both the thing, 2.42. I'm getting 4.56 square meter. So this is the total shuttering for all these beams. Okay, I'll write it here now. Let me keep it here and let me verify the answers with the Excel sheet. So what are this beam? GB17. So this is GB17. Okay, I'll write the answer here. Okay, GB17. Then we have GB 22 and 47. 22. So this is that one. 22 and 47. Yeah. So let me verify the answers. Okay. See, I'll add everything. I should get same answer. 3.570 plus 0.2 plus this answer. How much I'm getting? 4.578. Exactly. See, I'm getting 4.578 here. And how much did I get manually? How much did I get? I got 4.56. Okay, 56 you can consider 57 only, because maybe slight variation might happen, but answer will not change. It's the same thing. This answer you can take care of. Okay, you can do in this way also, or you can take one by one like I explained in the Excel sheet. You will get the same answer. There won't be any changes. Okay, yeah. So that is how you're supposed to do the shuttering quantity for the plane beam. Okay. Other than that, since I'll tell you one more method also. Since all the beam depth are of 350 only, you can even take care of the grid system also. Like what is a grid system? Like I mentioned, this complete length you take, this length, this length, and this length, and this length. You take it and multiply this by 0.35. That thing also you can do, but it will be a bit complicated method. So you just take individual beam and you can do the estimation. You are going to get the right answer. Nowhere you will be having any confusion. You always go with one by one beam. First you take GB1, you go with the GB2, you go with GB3. Even though it's a time consuming, it's okay. You'll never go wrong anywhere. Okay, that's it. So I hope you have enjoyed my lecture up to here. You got a complete idea how the shuttering quantity has to be found out, and try to apply those things. If there is any secondary beam passing, make sure you are deducting the width of that. If there is no secondary beam passing, directly you take the length, multiply by the depth, and multiply it by 2, you get the total shuttering quantity. That thing also you can do. Okay, yeah, yeah. So we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.